welcome to episode 61 of the MyMuddings podcast. I'm your host Julianne, and here I am in my lounge room again because my craft room is an absolute bomb site. If you don't already know, I will be vending at the Fibre Feast, South Australia, what do we call it? It's not really a market, but it is a market. It's kind of one of those fibre festivals that, you know, you see in other areas. South Australia is trying its hand at it, so that's going to be super exciting. So I coloured my hair this morning especially for the event, so I am no longer purple. I am now this, it's called aquamarine, so it looks a little bit tealy in my viewfinder. I've got new glasses, so I'm just a new person here today. No, not really, I'm still the same inside. So I'm just going to keep it super quick because I do have some more work to finish this afternoon. Just very quickly for Fibre Feast, I have started packing everything up. I've got lots of yarn packed up, ready to sell. And as usual on a Thursday, the garbage truck arrives right as I'm trying to record. So give me a couple of minutes. And he has gone by. And on the note of garbage trucks on Thursday, I'm thinking I might actually change my recording day again, because I'm finding it, obviously I haven't been recording as often as I would like, and I am finding it quite hard to fit in towards the end of the week, especially because Fridays are mostly a write-off for me because I do have my cleaning shift on Friday afternoon, so I start that at just before 1:30, and pretty much it means the morning I try not to do very much because I know I'm going to work really hard in the afternoon. So I'm actually thinking I may change my recording day to sort of Monday, Tuesday, something like that. So you'll just get the podcast a day or two earlier in the week, which is probably neither here nor there for you because you probably just will watch it whenever you're able to watch it. But yeah, that's kind of the plan, is I'm thinking I might mix up my recording day, but that is TBA because I still haven't decided exactly what I want to do yet. So that's kind of most of the blathery housekeeping kind of things, apart from the fact that we have our Whip It Good knit along happening over in the Ravelry group. So I have an FO today that I was able to put into the thread over there, so that's pretty exciting. And people are still putting their FOs in there, so if you'd like to be eligible for prizes, it's only a 6-month knit along, so it only goes to the middle of the year, but if you'd like to get rid of some of those whips on your needles and have the potential to win prizes, head over to the MyMuddings podcast Ravelry group and join up if you aren't, and yeah, join us over there. So I guess I can just get on to my FO. I have finished my white horse sweater. So you guys have seen this before. It has not been blocked yet. I've just had no time at all to block it. But it is finished. And let me see if I can figure out which is the right side. Yes, this is the front. So it looks really huge, but when I put it on, actually it fits quite nicely. So I'm a little bit closer to the camera than I usually am as well, so it's probably going to be hard for you to see. But the White Horse pattern is by Caitlin Hunter, who is Boyland Knitworks, and yeah, I really liked this sweater, and it was like, it was effortless. It really was effortless. And as you can see, it is reverse stockinette on the outside, and that is done by knitting it inside out. So I had a few little hiccups with that, with adding new balls of yarn and things like that, and accidentally putting it on the purl side instead of the knit side. And because the purl side is going to be the outside, I don't really need baggy, you know, daggy bits of yarn hanging off. So yeah, and I did do a couple of mods, probably 3, I think is about the count. So I did the yoke as written, all exactly the same. Then what I did is I knit the body quite long. So I've knit it, I think I knit it to approximately 19.5 inches. And because that's what I have measured from my underarm to my hip joint, and I wanted it to sort of the front of it to fall around my hip joint area. So yeah, I knit it to about 19.5 inches before the ribbing, and then, oh gosh, I have to hold it up so high. Then I put in some short rows, so you can sort of see how the back here is hanging down a little bit further than the front. That's because I put in quite a few short rows, and I didn't actually write down how many I did, which would have been really good to put on my project page, but I didn't. I'm sure I can go back and have a look at like the actual knitting and see where I've put them in, and I can figure it out. But that was just following a tutorial. I don't know whose tutorial it was, and I don't even know if I can find it again, but it was somebody who was knitting Susan B. Anderson's I've forgotten what, I wanted to call it Twigs and Willows, but I think that's actually an Alana Dacos pattern. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it in the down bar there. I know, because we were talking about it at my knit night, and I was the only one that remembered the name, and now I've completely forgotten it, so, you know, go figure. Yeah, so it was somebody who wrote about what they did to add short rows to do a high-low back on that Susan B. Anderson colourwork sweater. It's the one that's got like the little leaf kind of motif that goes across the yoke in colourwork. So that was what I copied. I did do, I think I did an extra 2 repeats of the short rows further than what the blog actually said. So I did add just that little bit more, because I think what they said would do about 1.5 inches. So I probably ended up with about 2 inches, so 2-inch difference between the front and the back. It's really hard to tell because it's not blocked, and yeah, it's not been shaped or anything, so it's basically just a big reverse stockinette tube at the moment. And the other change that I made was the arms are actually supposed to be cropped, so they're supposed to be sort of more up, you know, above the elbow sort of length. That really doesn't do it for me. I mean, the whole sweater is supposed to be cropped, so it's supposed to be about waist length, and it's supposed to have short sleeves. Neither of which were doing it for me, but I loved the reverse stockinette, and I loved the lace yoke panel. So what I did is I initially just started knitting straight down like the instructions did. I picked up the number of stitches that the instructions said. And then basically it coincided with Kristen from Yarngasm podcast was knitting the Swag sweater, which is also by Caitlin Hunter. And I really loved the arms on it, which had a super long cuff and then like this balloon kind of effect. So I basically copied that. So I actually do own the Zwig sweater or Swag sweater pattern. So I basically went into that, had a look to see what the lengths were suggested, and I think it was like, not to give away the pattern, which is probably not really possible anyway, it's only a measurement. I think it was like 7 inches and 5 inches. So 7 inches from the underarm in the regular sleeve, and then 5 inches for the cuff. So that's basically what I did. And now I have kind of Swig sweaters or Swag sweater sleeves on my white horse. So, but I'm really happy with it. I've only tried it on once, and it actually didn't come out with as much ease as I was really expecting, but like I said, it hasn't been blocked. So once it's blocked and shaped, it might actually give me a bit more space, which is fine. It's all good. It definitely fits, so that's not a problem. And probably the only thing that I'm a bit upset with is there's no real suggestion to avoid, I've spoken about it before, to avoid this line when picking up your sleeve stitches. So both of my sleeves, I didn't bother fiddling around. I figured seeing I'd done it once on one sleeve, it was probably not much point trying to clean up the second sleeve, because I figured if it worked, that'd probably just make me inclined to rip out my first sleeve, and I wasn't having that. So I just made them both the same. So yeah, both of them have that little line where the stitches are picked up from the backward loop cast on that I used under the arms. So yes, that is my white horse sweater, and this was knit from Bendigo Woolen Mills Milky Way. Sorry, Nova is the colourway, and the Milky Way is I think merino and milk fibre, so that's rather interesting. I'm not really sure what effect the milk fibre is supposed to have. I think it's supposed to be like a silk alternative, I think, but honestly it doesn't feel soft like silk, but it does have a bit of a sheen to it. I mean, it's probably not likely to pick up on the camera, but it does have a slight sheen to it, but it's lovely yarn, it really is. And I've got another sweater's quantity of the Milky Way in a blue, a quite sort of, it's that I was just going through what I was going to say in my head. I was going to say it's a bright dark blue. Yeah, but it really is. It's like, it's a deep blue, but it strikes really bright in the light. So I don't know whether possibly that is the milk fibre that gives it that brightness with the dark blue. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I can't wait to wear it. Of course, blocked first. And I've got some really crappy photos, probably I think only one crappy photo of it on my Ravelry page. So if you wanted to have a look, you're welcome to go and have a look. The link will be in the show notes. So yeah, I will hopefully next week, or when I've got some spare time after this market is done, write down what my modifications were so everybody can know and you can replicate them if you want to. So yeah, that's my white horse. Very happy with it. The only other thing that I've been working on, and I'm just looking at it now, I've left it mid-row, which is really stupid. I hate doing that for you guys, that it's stopped mid-row, but I have very limited time, so I need to get this done. So I'm not going to sit and finish the row before I show you. But this is my test knit of the Theferritin Shawl, which is a pattern by Jess Gore, who is the Sweater Collective, who is my dear friend and neighbour. And yes, I'm doing this out of my own yarn, so it's Swindon Sock. And this is in the lavender colour, which is basically a semi-solid. It's not tonal, it's a semi-solid. And the Earl Grey colourway here. And seeing it's so close to Fibre Feast South Australia, if you are in South Australia, I will have kits available for the Theferritin Shawl. So Jess and I have gotten together and I will have two colourways. I'll have one that matches mine with the Earl Grey and the matching lavender. And I will also have some with my Cosmic Space Egg colourway, and then a semi-solid, so it's probably more tonal blue to go with that. So I will have a few kits available. And that will also include a code to download the Theferritin Shawl pattern on Ravelry. So Jess and I will be there side by side at Fibre Feast, and I'm hoping to get this done and blocked so I can have it there as a sample for everybody to squish. So, so I'm really close to the end. Pretty much, I think I have, I'm on my second moss stripe, which is the last one that needs to be done before the bind off. And it's not actually, I think it's 2 rows shorter than the previous one. So I think I'm halfway through it, I think. And then basically I take more of the main colour and then we do what's called a Russian bind off, which I haven't actually read about yet. So I don't actually know how difficult or not difficult that is yet. I guess if I need technical help, I can just wander down the road and ask Jess myself. So yeah, and that will be done in the main colour. And then she does have provision to do tassels. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to do the tassels or not. Never really thought of myself as being a tassel kind of girl, but I do like them on hers, so I might do that. And I don't know, depending how much yarn I have left, I think she uses the main colour in her sample for the tassels. But I'm feeling the Earl Grey. Maybe I'll use the Earl Grey for my tassels if I have enough left. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm really close, and if you are coming to Fibre Feast, you will see this. I will have it finished. That is one of the things that I need to get done before we head off to Blackwood. So that is all I've been working on. I haven't been doing anything else other than dyeing yarn and dyeing hair. Yeah, so I'm hoping that all of my South Australian peeps are able to make it to Blackwood on Saturday. We will be there from 10 AM till 1 PM, and that's at the Blackwood Memorial Hall in Blackwood, and that is Fibre Feast South Australia. So I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. There's going to be so much fibre. I think we're just going to all pass out from all the fibre fumes. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you can join us. And yeah, what else can I say? That's probably it, really. I do want to just make note too that I am going to be releasing a vlog, possibly before this, possibly after this, and that was Simon and I went up to Hahndorf, which is a local town in the Adelaide Hills here, local to us. Well, it's not really local. I mean, it was probably from home, probably about 45 minute drive, so it's just up in the foothills, and it's like how would you call it? It's not a traditional German town, but that's kind of the vibe. It's like it's German settler. There was a lot of German settlers in the area when, you know, South Australia was being formed and things like that. I don't 100% know the history, but Hahndorf's a really fun place to go to because there's a lot of really awesome architecture. We had lunch at a really fabulous place called the Hahndorf Inn, which is like a lot of traditional German food. So lots of meat. I think we both, you know, kind of went into a bit of a meat coma when we got home. Didn't really do my true vegetarian heart very good, but it was delicious. So yeah, I will be having a vlog, and it'll only be a short one, just a few clips to show you around Hahndorf and the inn where we had lunch. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I will quickly edit this and get these videos up, and then continue working on stuff for Fibre Feast. So I'm really excited. I hope to see you there. If I can't see you there, please enjoy your weekend, whatever you do. And I'm hoping I will see you bright and regular next week with a new podcast. So it'll probably be only a couple of items, same as today, but hopefully I'll have another FO. Well, definitely we'll have the Theferritin Shawl as another FO for you next week. So I will leave it there. I hope you guys all have a fantastic week, few days, however long it is till I talk to you again, and happy crafting, and I'll see you then. Bye.